be like the water. Now that then the next week, guys telling me I want to be like a tree that bends. Why would I want to be a tree that bends? Why would I want to be anything that bends? And then Hannah keeps saying, Sonny, don't bend your branch. Don't bend your branch. In my head, I'm like, why is this chick keep talking about my branch? What is the fuck is wrong with my branch that she keeps telling me not to bend it? What does she know about me? Oh my God, man. Hey, man, I went to my Buddhist class I started taking Buddhist courses. Mm-hmm. It was interesting, man. I started on Monday night, and it was interesting. It's interesting for me. I like it. It's interesting that, I mean, this is, as I was going through it, like there's an entire process of learning, right? There's a learning process, and like there's a structured kind of learning process. And I think it's something I should have done a long time ago. But a long time ago, I was doing Freemasonry. So like it was totally different. And the and so it's been interesting. It was interesting. The entire process was interesting. It's not something you could read, right? The process that I'm going through studying with these guys, it's not really something you can just read about. And there's meditation involved with it. And you can't just sit there. But like, that's my wheelhouse, man. I used to get paid to help people meditate. So in the process, the biggest learning teachings that the biggest thing, like it's quite interesting. It's like reprogramming the mind. It's very, very much, I'm looking at it like reprogramming the subconscious mind, which I know how to do. so and these guys, even though my approach focuses on a lot of language, a lot of words, this approach they want you to focus on one or two words. And so the first meditation was focused on the breath, which obviously that's how they start, right? Focusing on the breath. Whereas I usually start with take a deep breath in and relax. I really do start with that. And so it's kind of interesting to see their techniques and their style. But I do know how to enter into the state. So I like, it's like not, so it was interesting. And so their first thing was the breath. Where we differ is this. Those guys, the Buddhists in that situation, when they're doing their meditation, they're searching for silence. And so they like a quiet room, or the people I was with, they like a quiet room with very few distractions. However, as the master and hypnotist, I'm a master too. So like, as a master hypnotist, that's not really, wouldn't have been my goal. Even with a very noisy room, and I've done this many times, that even in a noisy room, even without quiet, even with chaos and cacophony around us, I know how to enter the state, or I can help someone enter the state. I've done it so many times. So that's one of the differences. Okay, so that's one of the differences. They like it all quiet, and I don't really care. And so that's interesting. But we both focus on the breathing, which is my point of being there. So, and I'm running an hour every day, right? So I'm working on my breathing. I'm trying to lose 5 pounds. I start the fitness thing very shortly. And so that's the deal. My niece has already started it, as far as I know. Cray's sick, but Cray and Jeffrey were supposed to have begun the fitness thing. And, sickness is part of the process. Christine is back at the gym shortly, I think. We all get him back, and we're going to do it at our own pace. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. What else is happening? So that's the first one. The second one, okay, and the first idea, okay, so that's the first meditation. And the first idea that's presented is something that resonates with me quite deeply, which was why I went to these guys to study. And the first idea and the first concept is opposite of what most Western societies believe. It's opposite. Now, I know people speak about Buddhism in terms of it a religion, but I don't consider Buddhism a religion at all. So, like, at all, not in the terms that you guys would consider Buddhism, consider what a religion is. I don't consider that at all. And if you understand the way I think, it's different. It's different. So listen to this. I don't consider Buddhism like a thing like that. I consider it like a philosophy or a way, because you guys know I'm a Freemason, and you also know I'm a very, very, very much a Taoist, and I've been teaching you guys Taoism for many, many years now using astrology. I've been teaching you guys energy and motion, because I look at the Tao as energy and motion, and that's what we talk here. It's going to the gym, me running, Steffi going to Australia, me going to do my work, it's energy in motion. Craig getting up, doing her rehab, right? Energy in motion. We don't stay down. That's not what we do. We get up. And so the concept, the Buddhist concept, like the very fundamental core of the Buddhism teaching, the Buddhist teaching, the Dharma, is that it all comes from within, right? And and in Canada, we would say by our own bootstraps, right? A long time ago, one of my friends said that we pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, straps on to pull ourselves up. It it comes from within, which is absolute opposite of what Western society has believed for the last 2,500 years. Western society is programmed to believe that someone is coming to save you, whether it's a space alien, whether it's your God, whether it's like your president, whether it's some guy, whether it's some book, and stores go on. They sell, crystals. If you wear this crystal, it's going to save you. If you do this, hold this book, stand like this, let me wave my hand like this, all that kind of stuff. This talisman, that's all external. And that's the belief. So, and if you watch anything for the last many years, you will hear women complaining that they can't find a man, right? Or they want to be saved. Or you can hear men complaining that, whatever. And the joke is, the word is savior. Yeah, the word is actually savior, to actually come and save you. So, like, that's what you 100% believe in. And your brain is looking for that. For some bizarre reason, you're looking for someone to come and save you, which is opposite of what's going on. It's opposite of the breath. It's opposite of the way. Now, all of those signs, tokens, and symbols, and talismans, and crystals, and chains, and beads, and, whatever you have, lucky charms, there is a thing about that, right? There is like, I would be, wouldn't be honest with you if I told, because I know how that works. Like, I believe in synergy. And I teach that, right? I teach lucky charms, and I believe in lucky charms. However, and there's a place for that. But the truth is, you're enough as it is. But this is important, because for the last 2,500 years, we were in the age of Pisces. we were in the age of a savior, looking for a savior, waiting for the savior. You know, space aliens coming to save us, some mystery being coming to save you. Behind the veil, right? So that's what it is. You know, that's and you're looking externally for some kind of savior or salvation. It's really funny, actually. So like, but it comes from within, right? It's your steps. So that's the first one, man. That's the first. If you can handle that, I think you're going to be okay. Like, you're going to be holy smokes, man. You know what else happened at the class? I learned this. You know, she's talking about suffering, right? And how suffering is in the mind. And, you know, the Buddhist concept of the mind is actually in the heart, right? The things we say come from the heart. I told you guys this a long time ago. The brain and the heart, they meet here in the mouth. And it intellectually, according to the Tarot, it's the mouth, right? But you know, it comes here. In Tarot, one of the cards means mouth, and I can't remember which glyph means mouth. It's like, it might be Mercury. So anyways, the mind and the heart meet at the mouth in the Tarot. In the Buddhist, the mind is in the heart, because the heart, it's like, how do you feel about what you're thinking? Right? How do you feel about what you're thinking? And so remember, I have a mind, body, soul approach to things, and they're separated because that's what I'm like, right? So, but these guys kind of lumping it together. So how do you feel about how you're thinking? And then they change how they think about things so they feel better about how they think, right? It's how they think is how they feel. So, and then they go on. Yeah, meditation by water is awesome. Hey, Steffi, there's a joke. Oh my God, there's a joke, man. Listen to this joke. Hey, you're right. Meditation by water is good. I like water, right? I like it. Listen to this. So I'm watching this Buddhist girl, right? Or this Taoist girl tell stories and talk about Taoism and mysticism and different books we should read. And she's going on and she's like, all right, there's another story about this Taoist master who was sitting beneath a tree on a mountain. Like, no, not a tree, but he was sitting on top of a mountain in like China somewhere. And then she says, here's another story of a Taoist master who was sitting by himself on the mountain again. And she's like, what's wrong with all these Taoist people in the mountains? Why don't Taoists go to the beach? What do these guys have against the beach? Oh my God, it was so fun. Oh man. Hey, but let me explain something else. I want to explain the suffering thing to you guys. Anyways, so here's where language comes into play. And what I'm telling you guys, and why we're a little bit different here. The question came up, like, she was talking about suffering, right? She was talking about suffering and how suffering is external, trying to, you know, doing like relying on the external, you know, beads and like, buy this jewelry, buy these beads, buy this shit, like, buy all this shit at the store and you'll feel better. Not really. That's so silly, but the although there is something about that, and I'll talk to you guys at a different time about that. And so, you know, whereas peace comes from within, love comes within, healing comes within, everything's a reflection back. And so some guy in the class, because I don't know, maybe like he says something, he raises his hand and he says, what about physical suffering? And because Cray's doing some physical suffering, right? And then the master, she's like, that's not how it works, man. He's like, that's not how it works. And we're talking about something else. We're talking about internal struggles, not physical thing. But I want to say something to you guys, because you're my guys. I don't give a fuck about those guys. I care about us. There's no such thing as physical suffering. That is like a real fucking weird thing to say. You put two weird things together. That's like saying flying fish or like That's fucking weird. Or like swimming spaceship. like you guys putting some weird things, weird fucking words together. You do it all like emotional intelligence. That's a fucking weird thing to say, man. That's a weird fucking thing. They don't, intelligence has nothing to do. They're different fucking thing. You guys see some weird fucking things. It's not how it works, man. There's no such thing as physical suffering. I'll explain it to you. There's pain. There's pain. The body goes through pain. The mind goes through suffering. It's different. There are many, many situations. And I'm telling you guys right now, we're about to go through a lot of pain. But we're not going to suffer through this. I'm telling you guys, it's we're not. I'm telling you guys, we are going to go through some pain. Pain is, you can do it. You can all do it. It's going to hurt. Daniela, it's going to hurt, man. Steffi, this hurts. I know. If anything happens to Craig, it's going to be a heavy blow to the sunny side. Like, this is going to hurt. But we're not suffering through it, man. We're not suffering. We are striving through this pain. So many pain. You know, like the pain of childbirth. That's a painful fucking thing, I hear. But it's not suffering. It's the joy of childbirth. It's the joy of childbirth. Not the suffering of childbirth. What kind of evil fucking mother are you? It doesn't. There's joy in that. There's joy in these things that cause us pain. When I run extra miles and like I'm going through all this pain in my body, in my feet, in my back, there's no suffering, man. That's joy. I'm loving that run, man. When I go to the gym, I haven't gone in a while, right? But I'm like, that's a lot of pain to put yourself. That's a lot of torture that I'm putting my body through. I'm putting my body through a lot of fucking torture, man. But there's no suffering for me. I'm willingly doing that with joy. So now we are going to go through. We're talking here. You guys are listening to me. This is what we're doing. That is the way. So that's the deal. So keep that in mind. The other thing, listen to this. No, listen to this. The next thing that happened. So because we're also talking about changing habits. In the second meditation, the first meditation was breath, right? They focus on the breath, which is fine, whatever. I don't focus on the breath, by the way. I focus on what a hypnotist would focus on, which is eye lock, locking the eyes. There's a pressure that builds up behind the eyes that should let you know you're entering into state. So like, that's what I was looking for. So, and that's how, anyways. So in the second meditation, the word that she wanted us to focus on was contemplate. And the message that she wanted us to leave with for the week was to just contemplate, just think about what we thought about. I was thinking, it's not enough to do, for years and years and years and years, I would hear Buddhist teachings like Bruce Lee and all of this say like, oh, be like the water, be like the water, be like the water. I don't want to be like the water. I want to be like Steffi. Steffi has like 15 degrees and she like is like young and sexy and just fucking an like she's a brainer. I want to be like that. I don't want to be like the water. I want to be like Steffi. Except I don't want to be like the water. I want to be like Daniela. I want to be young and sexy again. What the fuck, man? Who the fuck wants to be like water? Who the fuck wants to be like water? Bruce Lee's weird, man. Bruce Lee's weird. Who the fuck wants to be like water? Daniela, you're right. I just want to be me, man. I have enough trouble being me. You're right. Daniela, you're right. I want to just be me. I want to be like no water, man. It's fucking weird. Be like the water. Now, then the next week, guys telling me I want to be like a tree that bends. Why would I want to be a tree that bends? Why would I want to be at anything that bends? And then H, Hannah keeps saying, Sonny, don't bend your branch. Don't bend your branch. In my head, I'm like, why is this chick keep talking about my branch? What is the fuck is wrong with my branch that she keeps telling me not to bend it? What does she know about me? Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Sonny, don't bend your branch. I'll try not to. I'll keep my branch nice and firm. Thank you very much. The fuck? Oh my God, man. So, oh man. No, Steffi, I got you, man.